Hang on. Okay, so how do we sound? We can do these and then I'll go take a whiz. Okay, sorry, Jonah.
It's okay. I stared at the camera for as long as I could, and then I got kind of weird about it.
And then you got weirded out?
Yeah.
Look at our shoes and your shorts match. They can't see it.
Oh, you're wearing Ruse?
Yeah.
Where's your little pocket?
Oh, on the other side.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. I didn't really realize that these shoes that I have on from Payless were Walter Payton shoes.
Oh, when they brought those back.
Last year I got them.
Oh, they brought them back like in the early aughts?
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
I do know what that is. 2000s.
Mm-hmm. They, I was in my early 20s at that time, and they had a little pocket. I'm like, these are cute, and I bought them. I'm like, I think they're pretty cool. I'm like, that'd be pretty funny if they were put a condom in there.
Oh, no, Jonah.
But I guess I don't remember putting a condom in there.
No, Jonah, the story gets
as a joke, because I think I was going to set it up with somebody, but I completely forgot I did that, and I never did the joke. So you
just walking around with a condom?
Yeah, and then one time, I think I was dating this girl, and she goes, "Will you put a condom in there or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I put a condom in there." And then she goes, and then she opened it up, and there's a condom in there. And I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, that was a joke on Rob.
Oh no!
Joke's on you, Jonah.
I was like, "Oh no, that didn't go well for me." You know, I don't see around in here in Chicago grasshoppers.
You're right.
When's
you know
the
what
last
I
time
saw
grasshopper?
in North Carolina?
What?
So many grasshoppers.
Really?
Huge ones, like this big, speckled and yellow. Huge. They were like the size of my palm to my finger.
Are they salamanders?
No, I know what a grasshopper is. You're like, that's a lizard. I really get to think we have a delay because it took you so long.
One of the funny things my uncle does, which I was like, oh, I can't wait to steal that later when I start driving. When I was like 11, and then he'd be driving, and he never like brought attention to it, but like if you like went where there's like gravel, and he like first do it like this, like that, and then once you go back to the normal, he just would drive normal, and he never like it was never.
He was like, what?
Yeah, and I'm like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah, family of goofs,
yeah.
Jonah. Should we clap our hands so I know where to start?
Clap, 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 clap,
clap, clap, clap, clap.
Ow.
No, bad.
This is Petals and Pricks with Kelsie and Jurkens, where we talk about me and recap The Bachelor. Jurkens loves it. Kelsie's never seen the show, but she's giving it a try for true friendship. Petals and Pricks with Kelsie and Jurkens.
Kelsie Huff.
Jonah Jurkens.
We are Petals and Pricks.
We are a Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, you jokers.
Yeah, oh my god, we had a week hiatus.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry if you missed us, prickheads.
They were crying into their prickhead cereal? That's how I cry.
Have you seen the new Prickhead cereal?
You guys, it's just a bunch of roses, and it's also strawberry flavored, so the milk turns like a blood.
Oh, God.
Okay, it got weird. It got weird already.
Yeah, we had Kelsey's on vacation, so we had a week off. Mm-hmm. I plan on having a guest with us.
Yeah.
We talked to some old contestants. They were a little busy. We had some fellow comedians that had to drop out last minute. I ended up doing a podcast with, in my opinion, one of the best comedians in Chicago, Russ Williamson, very, very funny individual. Also pushes the barrier a little bit. And we had a very uncomfortable conversation that I was like, I don't think our listeners are going to like this.
Jonah made an executive decision.
I made an executive decision in the middle of the podcast.
And you're like, we're both getting the hook.
Yes, let's just say Russ was very high during it as well. And we did have a big conversation about who do you think ate Becca's butt.
Gotcha.
That was a conversation in there. And
so you decided to scrap it.
Well, it was a silly, fun conversation where a lot of it was like, Jesus Christ, Russ, what are you saying right now? And then
Jonah, the voice of reason.
Yeah, so maybe I'll edit that up to like a tiny little teaser.
Who are we kidding, Jonah? We're not editing anything.
No, we're not going to do it. So I just said scrap it.
So you're saying for the good of the listeners and or for the good of your editing time.
Right. Also in the middle of it, we had a march against violence. Mm-hmm. March, obviously. And that happened during the middle of this because we were taping at Factory here in Chicago. Yeah. Well, then Russ just started looking at that during because he was really high. And he's like, what's going on over here? And then he just sat and started staring at the And then I was like, do you want to...
So what you're saying,
do you want to
Jonah,
pause, bud?
is when I leave, it all goes to shit.
It does. It really does.
The power has gone to my head.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing it,
it's like Velcro. We need both sides to stick together. You can't have two the same side because they just don't stick.
Yeah. Or we can't have a high scruffy Russ. He's not sticking to anything.
No, but we did have a really fun conversation because he's lost a lot of weight. He lost 150 pounds.
It's crazy.
Which is amazing. He's still
Yeah, no, that's part of his joke.
That's part of his
joke. That's not Jonah being cruel.
Right.
That's part of his joke.
But we did have a very opening, kind of funny conversation about his rock bottoms was when he broke 2 toilets by sitting down.
In a row?
Well, I mean, also the fact where he thought about having a stack in his house. But
oh man,
yeah, it was pretty funny. Hey guys, listen for the podcast that won't come out.
It'll come out. Yeah. Nice teaser.
But so we're back here.
You really were focusing on the man tell all. That's what you guys were doing. Yeah. So if you want to quickly...
Kelsey, it's not man, it's men.
Oh, men. You're right. Plural.
Please don't women-splain things to me. Thank you very much.
Woman-splaining doesn't exist. Just so you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack this hangnail while I talk to you, so that's gonna be fun for everybody.
That's good. Everyone's gonna love it when they go. When they hear that.
Little rabbit noises. So, do you want to just do a really quick recap of like just the highlights for you personally in the men?
I would say Jordan. I thought Jordan really. I think we all got to understand who he was.
Okay.
Because he seemed to kind of own up to who he is. It seems like this is kind of how he is, and I think he does play into it a lot. But seems like a funny guy. Him and Grocery Store Joe seem like they got along very well.
Grocery Store Joe from Chicago.
Yeah, from Chicago. Hey, I'm Joe from Chicago. Like
you want some melons? I gotcha.
Yeah.
You want some mustard? Because we'll put ketchup on it.
Hey.
That's more of an insult to Chicago.
Hey, look at this jag-off over here. It was good. We had the classic, I got eliminated first day, and this is my chance to make it. So these 2 people were attacking Jordan a lot, and then Jordan ripped them apart because they were wearing high waist. What's the pants that go a little high up?
High waist? Capris?
High waiters? High waters?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then
they're good for crabbing, or they're good for...
It was pretty funny. I was like, Jordan, Jesus Christ, there you go, bud.
He is a catty little diva.
So I'm pretty excited that he's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes. So at the very end of the finale, obviously we get to see who's going to be there, or at least a little taste of who's going to be there.
Yes, we see Kenny come back. Pretty excited to see Eric come back.
I was excited about
our
that.
Girl Kendall comes back.
Yeah, I love that she's our girl.
Our girl.
I do like her.
I'm really excited for her to have some really good hot takes on things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some insight into paradise.
Right.
Yeah, no pressure, Kendall.
No pressure. And then Jason was being all bankery while talking with his fingers. I hate when people talk and their fingertips touch.
Mm-hmm. You guys make sure you check out our YouTube.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Jonah's doing a really great impression of
Don't worry, his
touching.
hair was still slicked back like a nerd. And your boy John.
Oh, yeah, John!
Yeah.
Yay!
Had a very fun little Easter egg where he broke down Jordan's supposed 4,000 Tinder likes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, if that actually happened, let's say the average person gets a 15% return on whatever they want. That means that, and then he goes, by the way, it goes, if you had to swipe through this many people to get that many likes, which by the way is is bigger than the population of Orlando. So you're not right.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
He just whipped out some hardcore stats and facts.
My thing I thought the whole time I was listening to it, I'm like, that man is not looking at any notes this whole time.
It's all in his brain.
That dude's a genius.
That's Jonah and I are like, we have notes on this one episode.
Yeah.
Now, I also...
Chris probably went up to him and was like, tell me you do taxes. Tell me.
Please help us out. Yeah. Listen, basically, The Bachelor is just laundering money at this point, so if you could help me out.
What if we found out it was
just a scheme?
Yeah, and then Paul Manafort brought it up.
No. Now, there was a big moment with the choir. How did you feel about that moment?
We saw Chris, good old-fashioned cokehead Chris come out.
Cokehead Chris, not Demon Chris, different Chris's.
No, Demon Chris, he's all right. He's my kind of demon.
Demon Harrison.
Chris
the
comes
Hellfire
out.
Harrison.
Chris was like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I had a bit of a breakdown. Becca, I got something for you.
Oh no.
And then the choir comes out, call back to from the first time, and they
his
sing a
initial
song
thing.
saying that I'm sorry. This time they did better than the first time, I would say. So they put some.
Oh, you have notes for the choir, do you, Jonah?
I would say you owned it. Your breath work was good. You definitely used your diaphragm. Good job. It didn't sound pitchy. The first one was a little pitchy. Could have been where they were at.
Okay.
Very good. Acoustics good. And it was about sorry, Becca. And in his eye, you could tell Chris was like, man, she's going to leave her fiancé for me for sure after this.
That guy's
he seems like that type of guy.
unprecedented, undeserved confidence, would you say?
He seems
Probably
like,
what that cocaine does to you.
Yeah, he seems like the guy that would beat up a girl's boyfriend and then expect her to leave him for...
It's a great example of a real douchebag attitude, Jonah.
Yeah, I've dealt with people like that once. One time, I had somebody...
Okay.
Sorry, Nancy. One time, I had somebody... I brought my girlfriend to a show.
A comedy show?
A comedy show.
Okay.
And there was an outside bar area, like there's where the theater is at, and then is in Madison, Wisconsin. And then you walk through the doors to get.
I know this one you're talking about.
There's a gentleman there hitting on my girlfriend. Fine, take it. I always think that's great. It's a big compliment to
everyone involved.
Everybody involved, right?
The bartender, everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Everyone's having a good time.
So then I walk up, and he's very confidently talking to her to the point like where I walked up, and he's just like. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of a conversation, like with her or whatever, and then I was like, oh, go ahead, I don't care. And then I kind of walked down, because I sat down, because I think it's very funny. Because you could tell she was like, help me.
Oh, no,
you're stuck here for
you left her, no.
And he was like, yeah, this is a thing called Google Maps, and I was just like, where I work, and he's like he had this iPad, he was like showing her.
Wow, his big move was Google Maps.
I know, I was like, this is fantastic. I'm not helping you ever. And then he starts, like asking me about comedy, and then he was
so you're back in the competition.
Well, he's just like, he's like, so where were you? Why would you leave a pretty girl like this at a bar all alone? And then I was like, this is not a bar, this is a comedy club. And everyone's in the show except for you, so you're the weird man out. And then he was like, oh, wait, so you're a comic? And I'm like, wait, and there's a big TV where you can see the people on the stage. And I go, yeah, that's why the person that you saw on that TV disappeared and then all of a sudden showed up in your real life.
What?
Yeah. And then he asked me, like, how do you even get paid as a comic? Awesome first question.
Yeah.
He goes, what does the bartenders tip you out? Like, do you get tipped out by the bartender?
Man, I wish.
And I was like, yeah, I don't like literally work here.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, that would be a great.
I wasn't like cleaning dishes, and then my manager walked in, and be like, Jurkens, you're next on stage. I'm like, I got all these dishes done, boss.
What do I know?
Yeah, and then he goes, add this to whatever you made, and then he crumpled up a $20 bill.
Shut up.
Yeah, this is a true story.
This guy's a dickhead.
I used to do a bit about it, and he threw it at me.
I don't remember this bit that you did.
That was a long time ago, and it hit my chest and watching the ground, and I just said, cool. And I took his 20, and my girlfriend and I just left.
Yeah. You guys won the situation.
Yeah.
So his big move was Google Map and throwing you free money.
You reassure me that the person I'm dating is very pretty. Then you give me $20. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he was trying to pull a power move.
You're like, what a good catch. Here's $20.
That's it. I mean, I get what he's doing, which is a total dick move.
Oh, yeah, I know what he's doing, too.
But
we want me to be mad, so I'm like, oh, thanks, man, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think the worst thing you do to, like, a bully is being like,
that guy's name
cool.
is Chris.
Harrison?
No, the other one.
Oh, Cokehead Chris.
No, but people are like that. Guys are fucking psychos.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's like that ego, and you don't know. Like, I don't know, because I don't have that experience with dudes. Because I'm not a dude, I feel like there is
You never had that experience where, like, a guy has been, like, kind of, like, obsessed with you, and then been kind of an asshole to Jason about it? Your husband? I bet you that has happened, and Jason just hasn't said anything.
Yeah, or I haven't, like, he's like, yeah, you know how we have conversations where you're like, you don't see things that happen to me or, like, women? I'm sure the same thing happens. Like, I can sometimes see guys, like, peacocking around each other, but I've never seen anything. Because I'm not, like, I hate to gender everything, even though that's what we do here on the show. Mm-hmm. If I'm not a threat to men, they're not going to react in the same way. And I feel like I am not a threatening presence, nor am I somebody like Katie, who is, like, very traditionally, like, you know, she's beautiful and tiny, and she's like, I hate to say this because she's like the trophy. I hate to say that. Do you know what I'm saying? Katie, your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, this is my girlfriend before that.
Oh, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, men are like, oh, she can be the prize.
Yeah.
I also don't get that from men because
I'm not.
Pretty. That's very nice of you, Jonah. But you know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to.
It was very nice. Thank you for saying that.
But like I feel like Jonah, every time I say that I am like not in that, you're like, wait, I got to make sure. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm saying I could see people fighting.
That's very nice of you. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying. Like there's a stereotypical person you're supposed to want.
Yeah.
I am outside of the stereotype, and that's okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people like Becca, like on the show. I'm pointing to my notes. Yeah. You know, somebody like, okay, let's bring it back to the show. Somebody like her sister, who I think seems very intelligent and fascinating, she's never going to be on that show.
Yeah.
I'm Emily.
Yeah.
And traditionally in like a Hollywood version, not in real life, but in a Hollywood version, men are fighting for Becca. Men aren't fighting for an Emily. Yeah. Now in real life, I do think it's different, especially in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because like I am a plus size lady who's aging, and I still listen. I can get some D if I want.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can.
But in the Hollywood version,
put a new notch in that belt, girl.
It's getting weird, way off the bat. But you know what I mean, like. I haven't seen these. I haven't seen that a lot.
I think it's also like the person.
Oh man, sorry, Nancy. We haven't even gotten into the podcast.
Well, this is a good conversation because, like, I would say it didn't happen that much with Katie. I mean, but it happened more. I would say with some people that like already probably had feelings, and then we started dating, and that like brought up like jealousy issues and stuff like that.
I see.
So that did happen, with one of her friends. I just like you can instantly feel because it's like. Okay, here's some alpha male shit, and it was really annoying to me. I've never, I've definitely like maybe had crushes on friends, and then they've had boyfriends. I've always been extremely nice to them because it's like, why would I make things awkward with my friends?
Yeah.
When we all know they're not gonna make it. So then when they don't make it, she'll come to me. Like
you're looking for the breakup.
It's about the long con.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I think the difference is too, like with my girlfriend before, I think she was also. Kind of wanted that a little bit because I think she wanted the reassurance, but also I think she liked that.
She's looking for male attention.
Yeah, but I think but like not. I think she just liked that because she liked the confrontation that like, and then also like me having to like be like. I think she was a little insecure, so then she wanted me to like know that like other men are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think because then Katie was pretty secure. Was very secure with herself, so I think she didn't like bring those type of people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But one time that did happen at the bar when Katie's was being nice and sweet, and then these not magicians, but these hypnotists we met at the bar, and boy were they peacocking. Yeah, it was.
There's not a hypnotist bar.
Yeah, it said countdown to 10. That was the bar name. But no, like they were like trying to peacock
with
that they're hypnotists.
Yeah, well I guess you gotta use what you got.
Silly.
That's silly.
And one of the funniest things, and they totally were like,
how many people can you put to sleep?
Yeah, to me. I was like, what?
Look at this watch.
Yeah.
What's your watch
and I kept like trying.
It's so funny. How do you peacock as a hypnotist? Listen, I got a real comfy couch.
Yeah.
What's your couch like?
Yeah.
Can you make someone balk like a chicken?
Yeah, and then like they try to like, and then Katie like.
Sorry, all those
they hypnotized like Katie, right? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then like the next morning it was, like we were really drunk and I was just like, hey, like I think you're being like kind of flirty and I don't like having to deal with people like that, whatever. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I'm like, you weren't really hypnotized, were you? She's like, no, I just felt bad.
A pity hypnotized.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
God.
If you're a hypnotist, just know that people just feel bad.
Yeah.
And they just want you to make. This just plays into how good people are.
Yeah.
They just don't want to make you feel bad.
She is very nice though. Somebody at a bar is like, hey, here's my pickup line. How would you not laugh in their face?
It was so funny because they were like tandem. I don't know if you're like, when you would read like the pickup artists and stuff like that, just about like, all right, there's a 3-set, and I'm with my wingman,
yeah,
and then we do this, do that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the whole thing is you're like, oh my god, you're playing these things, but your thing is you're a hypnotist. This is very silly.
Yeah. This sounds like maybe a sketch we could write.
I just wanted to be like, can I just follow you for the rest of your life? Write a little notes all the time.
Oh my god, fascinating. Let's record this bad.
Anywho.
So should we get into this finale? Thank you for the
story
recap.
kind of fell there.
What do you mean?
At the end.
Well, I think it was just...
crash and burn.
Crash and burn, just like Blake's heart.
What was the next story? I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay.
Top Gun.
Oh! Is that a book thing? So you read this book back to cover? Cover to front?
I really like the show, The Pickup Artist, that was on VH1, which you probably would really hate now. Because it's all about how guys picking up girls or learning how to. But there's these dorky guys who just never really have had a girlfriend before. Mm-hmm. And then because they get so nervous around girls, and then this douchebag Mystery. Yeah. He went by Mystery.
Yeah, I know that part. The thing that always fascinates me, and I know that I'm not playing the game, like the dating games. I never really have. I never understand why people feel like the need to trick someone into liking you. Because that's what it seems like. Here's the game plan. So you do this and you do that, and then you're going to trick them into like thinking you're this person, and then they'll like that person. But now you have to just pretend to be another person.
Like, I think it's like to get people to be interested in you, and then you can show them your real self. Like that's kind of, I think that's like what he tried to like push. And it's just like, it was all manipulative like the way he would like the way Mystery explains it. Right? Yeah, he's the one who kind of like coined that phrase,
thing, which is like the fucking worst.
Yeah, the story's really crazy because like if you actually read the book is about this guy who goes to these. He hears about these things called pickup artists, and he goes to them, and then is like, "Can I follow you?" And they're like just coked out. They're all really fucked up people. Like now they're sad because they're like still in that mentality, but they listen to like I don't know Nickelback still, and like and it's just like really and then because everybody knows because that's the problem is like it kind of blew up. It got into the ether or whatever, and like people know about that, so now they know every move that they're making because it's like fake.
Yeah, I get it. I guess like there's a difference, I guess, in my opinion, and one of the things that I feel so cringy like about the show in general as well is like I guess maybe I'm uncomfortable with like I don't get excited by like the chase in that way.
Yeah.
You know, of like, oh, I'm gonna trick somebody. Oh, I'm gonna do this thing. It just seems skeevy to me.
It does seem skeevy, but if you look at it, I think on a guy's point of view, like it is very skeevy, and some people definitely have very bad intentions. But I think that's why I get so uncomfortable in the show when it's like when they have to come out of the first off they come out of the car.
Yeah.
There's Becca that they walk up to her the whole time thinking like, oh my god, this is what I'm gonna say, this is what I'm gonna say. And like the nervousness and like it's so uncomfortable. And it is really hard as like because traditionally males are supposed to make the first move, right? That's hard.
I can't
especially
imagine.
Especially if you don't want to, especially like in this day and age when you don't want to feel like one of those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like how do you not feel that way?
Yeah,
how do you not look that way? Because the intentions are the same, you know. Yeah. It's like
you don't want to look.
I find you attractive. I want to like see you naked eventually.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, maybe that's not the greatest line.
Well, that's not the line. I'm just saying that's what's really.
But I know. I feel like that. I understand. Like I would feel skeevy.
It's so hard.
I would feel skeevy, but I feel like don't push into the skeeviness. But I think some people do.
Yeah.
You know, where they're like, or they're trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Of like, hey, here's a bad line. Wink. You know.
I will say that the one thing that they push in that book and in the show is like the not coming up with a line. It's more like how do you just like start a conversation?
Yeah.
So then they had these things called like conversation starters, whatever, where you just go up and be like, I just saw this guy have a fight. I mean, they're fake, but there's kind of like
so it's a lie.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's the hardest thing is like. It's like I would say that's too like even seeing somebody is just like the like how do you just like
and
not
I think the thing that's crazy to me is like because I talk to you the same way I talk to a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I talked with most guys that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand why guys have this idea that like I can't talk to this woman because she's a woman, not just like a person. And if you're a guy who's like I only talk shit about women. Then you are going to have a fucking problem because you have a problem with women.
Right.
So it's like, I don't understand too, a guy's like, I have a problem with women. I don't trust them. I don't know how to talk to them, but I really want to fuck them. That's fucked up to me.
Yeah.
It's like, because you don't want to talk to a woman because you don't see her as an equal. You see her as a thing. That is a problem.
I think you do
because we're not talking about what you're talking about.
Right.
Of like, I don't want to seem like I'm that guy.
Right.
Some guys don't really like women.
Right. Yeah.
And they just want to fuck them.
Right. But some also guys hold them to a higher standard. So then it's
which is a problem.
Right, but I think it's like...
They're not at a higher standard.
With women?
We're not.
Right.
Putting women on a pedestal.
No, you guys are terrible.
No, we're equally terrible as you.
Right, but I'm saying this, it's that adrenaline and it's just like this, like, I just want this person to like me and like, you know, like, it's just the plays on that male insecurity.
Yeah. And I do think one of the problems, I think, with putting people on a pedestal, which is what they do a lot in the show, like, it's okay to have romantic feelings and it's okay to be connected to someone, but if you put someone on a pedestal, you're worshiping them. And worshiping is not love.
Right, but I think it's not, I totally agree.
And I think boys have been told to, like, put women on a pedestal. And I think sometimes women like it. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't mean you can't love someone, you can't have these connections, but that makes us not equal. Yeah. And that's a problem.
To sound shitty, it also makes some women shit people.
Well, if you've been told, for example, it's the same thing with Fame. Yeah. If you've been told, like, you're precious, you're a princess, you're perfect, that's not true.
I know.
And yes, it's going to fuck with women's brains. Yeah. And same thing with, like, men. Yeah. Like, you're strong, you need to protect. Yeah. Don't show emotions, you got to be there, you're a rock. Yeah. It's going to fuck with a little boy's head. Right. Like, if you just told them, like, hey, you're a human and you're okay. Yeah. And one day you're going to find a human that may make you feel like a better person. Yeah. Holy shit, we just solved the world, Jonah.
That's why you never want to date... That's why, majoritarily speaking, you never want to date small town hot, or you never want to date
Coquette Chris,
college sports all star.
Yeah, well, anybody who peaks.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Because they have issues. Well, I guess we all have issues, Jonah.
But anytime in a small area and you're the higher echelon, like people are just worship you, like you said, and then you have this kind of distorted idea of who you connect like and how you connect like because it's been excused.
Yeah.
During your adolescence, which is your learning phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think too, like a lot of women why women traditionally have more like or different, a deep-seated and internal self-esteem problem, is because if you're then not on the pedestal, like you see other girls, you're garbage. Yeah. You're nothing. Yeah. So then you take anything. Yeah. You take any attention, whether it's beating you up, raping you. You know what I mean? Like it gets bad. Yeah. Wow. We haven't even started yet.
But we've started.
Well, we started with the recap. So maybe, Jonah, what we can do, is this too much? Should we split it up? No.
No.
Okay, got it. Sorry, you guys. This is going to be a 3-hour episode. This isn't just
the men tell-all. This is the pricks tell-all.
Okay, so end of that, right?
Well, I think
it also
plays into, like, if we're talking about doing this 180 here. Now 180, I'm putting a tail on this kite.
Okay. I'm following you, Jonah. Yeah. I don't know where you're going.
Well, I think this also, like, plays in the fact where it's like... Blake was a sports star, right, in high school. Mm-hmm. So I think he was up to a certain pedestal,
in his hometown, right?
Right, yeah. But now he's not the best one there, and it's fucked with his brain so much where he can't handle competition because he's used to not having competition. Yeah. To me, it seems like. Yeah. And you saw this tailspin. Even Chris said it. I think he's really in a tailspin.
Yeah. He did before they went to commercial.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like even Chris saying something like that.
Well, I feel like you make a good point about like if you don't feel rejection or failure early on, and we're all going to feel it eventually. Yeah. You're not used to it.
Because you can't handle it.
You don't know how to handle it, and I do think that can be problematic. Yeah. Well, that's what I think too. When it doesn't matter if you're I do think children should be protected, of course, to some degree. You wouldn't just be like, go out in the woods, figure it out, kid. Yeah. You know, like
here's a knife. It's not sharpened. You need to learn how to do that.
Yeah. You know what? The world is cruel. Let me show you. And you're like, well, can I be like 5 for a second? Right. Like, there's a difference, but you also need to realize that rejection is a part of life, and it's not the end of the world. And I feel like one of the things I love about comedy, not to make it about us, but let's make it about us. Yeah, cool. You fail on a daily basis. Yeah. You eat shit. Even when you're doing well, I feel like there are moments where I think a lot of performers, they're comfortable-ish. It's a part of your life. Yeah. It's a part of you. You know that's how you get better. Yeah. When you eat shit, when you get rejected. Now, I think with love, it's a little different. Yeah. Because that's so personal. But hey, this is a reality TV show.
It is.
Yeah.
We're out for blood.
Rough for blood.
Rough for blood.
Okay, so let's get into
in the water, bro.
No. Smell it. Let's get them. Okay, so season finale, Prickheads. Maybe we'll tell you at the beginning. We start at 40. Yeah. 40 minutes.
Oh, no, we talked for 20 minutes for that.
Oh, yeah. So 20 minutes in, maybe you should fast forward to that.
Well, that's like saying it's too hot in this room. Then people are going to be like, it is hot in this room.
Oh, I just fucked it up?
You did.
Let's get into the finale.
I'm going to edit that out.
All right, you're not.
I'm not going to.
Okay, so let's do a real quick. So it's a live section, right? Yeah. We're live with Chris Harrison in LA and a live studio audience at the same time.
Do you know the whole studio audience is under 4'3"? Or I'm sorry, under 5'3" to make Chris look tall.
That's in his rider.
Yeah, it's in his rider.
No, I didn't know that, but I believe it. Even though it's probably made up, I'll still believe it. Why not?
That's true.
And then they cut up in between the final days where they're at the Maldives, which is off the coast of India, so they're in the India Ocean, right? Which is super beautiful. Right. Super beautiful. I knew about it because of a YouTube channel I watch, In the Fro. I don't think you're listening, but I really like you. Anyway, In the Fro. Her name is Victoria, and her boyfriend Alex, they travel around and they film it, and it looks beautiful. So they're in the Maldives. So we then see their family.
Well, we first see Becca doing Tai Chi.
How do you feel about it? Because you seem judgmental.
I wrote down, fucking nerd.
Jonah, sometimes you're so catty.
I know. I was raised by women.
Oh, slam, gender slam. To everybody in the end.
Oh, and then hang out with catty guys. Which is male
comedians
are the most cattiest people.
I gotta tell you, I have sorority friends. I'm never in a sorority, but women who are in sorority. Yeah. Sorority women get they get the worst rap for being the most catty people. And I also went to theater school, so I know a lot of like
theater
gay
kids
men.
Are more catty.
No.
Theater kids are catty.
Male comedians.
A lot of theater kids are very catty.
Male comedians, Jonah.
Oh, yeah.
More than drag queens.
Oh, for sure.
Like, they are wowzer schnauzers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
anyway.
I know.
You're like, no,
silly.
I know. It's the greatest.
Yeah, it's so silly.
You're like, you and RuPaul have a battle to the death.
Can I say something? I love Russ to death, right? Russ is, I would consider a good friend and also a very good comedian. This is so much more fun than talking to him. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, just because he's like,
It was a bad date where I was just like, so, what do you think about that? And then he'd like say his little thing. I was like, okay. What do you think about this? So,
cool.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Jonah, you know how to feed my ego.
No, I'll just take it to go.
I got a text from my mom.
Yeah, I think he did that to me too. He's like, is there a rally going on? I'm like, oh my god.
We probably should go to this protest. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not being catty. That's our whole thing, right? We're trying to like understand people's motivations.
Right. So we see Becca doing Tai Chi, clearing her brain, clearing her heart, clearing her soul.
Not being a nerd.
Yeah, just making sure that ball is just the energy of everything that's bothering her and just letting it out, letting it out. I thought about doing Tai Chi. Have you done Tai Chi?
I never have.
Oh,
no.
I took an acting class in college and we had to do Tai Chi during the
Oh,
beginning
yeah?
of everyone.
So you're just kind of...
I know, that's how I picked it up right away.
Oh, good. So really you're just filled with jealousy, I see.
Exactly, because I'm like, I should keep doing that. It's very good of you.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back. So...
But don't worry, because when I saw Blake write it in his little diary, I also wrote, fucking nerd. And also I'm like, did you draw a rose in there?
It looks like a dried rose, like his first rose.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I did with my wedding roses, which is pretty nerdy.
That's good. That's called love.
You guys can't see that Jonah's writing fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd. I'm just mouthing it to you.
Fucking nerd. Oh.
That's great.
I can hear your mouth smack.
I know I did it first. Okay, so we meet Garrett. We meet Becca's family.
Now before that,
her sister and this humidity is not going well.
Oh, because of the hair. I love her sister's hair. I always wanted to have curly hair, and everybody who has curly hair is like, it's the worst.
Yeah,
I think it looks great. In every romance novel, in every story, it's always the girl with like brave, like unruly hair. She can't be tamed. You love it.
Just like your hair.
Just like your hair. Oh yeah. You can't straighten it. You can't.
Flows free like the freedom in her heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You should write a romance novel, Jonah.
You want to write it together?
It'd be the cattiest novel ever. It'd be called Fucking Nerds Getting Laid. It's not a great title.
What if I started writing romance novels to douchebag guys? That'd be silly.
Yeah, well, it would just be like, my mom didn't like me enough. The end.
Yeah. Am I right?
Am I right? High fives, mom stuff. Okay, so we get prepped. Before the family comes, we get prepped by Chris Harrison. That is going to be the most emotional final you've ever witnessed. In fact, it's going to be uncomfortable to watch. And I was like, Chris, way ahead of you. Yeah. They're all crappy to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Zing.
He gets me every time because I was like, okay, Chris, stop doing this to me, all right? And then I'm like, is it going to be?
Jonah, you're so easy.
Stop doing this to me, Chris.
If I was making a reality TV show, I would 100% tailor it to you, Jonah Jurkens.
Yeah.
Because you just flow with it, man.
Yeah, I do.
You're just like, whatever you say, that's what's happening.
I would say something like, this is, just to let you know, it's not going to be as bad as you think. And then it gets really bad, and I go, that's pretty bad, right?
It's pretty bad, you fucking nerd.
Yeah.
So Becca recaps while she's doing Tai Chi about Blake and Garrett, and she kind of tells us how she feels about them. That's,
in love with both.
Yep, she likes them. Yep.
Real focus. I mean, like, it's all foreshadowing now looking back at it, but it is crazy how much they did show her talking about how much, like, she just knew Blake was one right away, and oh, shit, it was so easy.
Yeah, it was easy. It was easy sneezy. So family chats, what are your, so she, in my opinion, she was really looking for some answers from her family. That's how they framed it. Like,
how'd you feel about her family? I wrote down, this is the most Midwest-looking family I've ever seen in my life, except for her uncle. Where's her uncle at? New Jersey? Where's her uncle from? New Jersey?
You mean Chuck?
Yeah, Uncle Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck.
The gold chain. Guy looks like he owns a laundromat.
There are laundromats in the Midwest.
You didn't feel that? I thought he was like, hey, what's about this guy? Hey.
Is that the guy? So that was the guy.
Forget about it.
That wasn't the guy that Garrett was.
That they cried together for, which was a very nice moment.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think of him like that. At
first glance, I was like, this guy seems like the outlier.
Oh, gotcha. But he won your heart in the end.
Yeah, no, he seems like a very nice young man.
Yeah, he's a very nice young man. So her sister.
At first, I wrote down, who's her brother? And then I'm like, oh wait, that's her uncle.
That's Chuck. Yeah. So we've got her mom, Emily, and Chuck. Those are kind of the people in the foreground, and then we do have another gentleman that didn't really talk a lot. I think he was more present in the last one.
Is that that's the
guy that helped
husband? Oh.
The guy that helped her out.
Oh, yeah.
Not the husband. Her husband died.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. I thought you were talking about the sister's husband. Yeah, is that are they dating? The mom and him?
This is probably, I'm sure the Prickheads are yelling
really
at us.
concerned.
Yeah.
About Becca.
Because there was a guy, and I thought it was
hard.
Chuck.
Would that be hard for you?
What?
As let's say Jason had kids, and his previous wife died, and then you kind of took that spot.
Oh gosh, that's got to be out of control hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be insanely hard.
Yeah. Especially
like, even if there wasn't kids, it's like a death. And then you're like, you can never
taking that spot.
You can never take that spot. It'd be very difficult. Well, which we talked about off a mic.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things with Garrett that I think really came across here is like that she was so connected to him. She kept saying feel like home, and there was like a lot of dad stuff.
A lot of dad stuff.
A lot of dad stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard, Jonah. Like, you cannot compete with a ghost.
No.
Like, and Garrett is his own person. I just think it's problematic. Listen, they look happy. I think everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
But when I kept watching and it kept coming up with the dad stuff, even when they, all throughout, like, when it was happening, and then even at the very end when they're talking with Chris and the dad stuff comes up again.
Yeah. But even like since day one, she's like that with him.
Yeah.
Even her mom goes, hey, like, because I think Becca said something like, what do you think Dad would think? Or like, I think I see whatever. And then even her mom was like, you gotta make a decision on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we can't make the decision for you.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, I think part of the grieving process for a lot of people is to like fill that. And people are connected with folks that they have healthy relationships with, right? It's not just death. People do. They're looking for that.
How old was she when this happened?
She was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was younger.
It was cancer, correct?
When it happened. Yeah. But it makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's hard. Like when somebody dies, some people have a tendency to sanctify them and then hold that standard to the people who are living.
But I think
that's challenging.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But I also feel like she's dated some real scumbags.
It sounds like it.
So I think she just like holds her dad really high. So then she's like, I just want somebody like that.
Yeah.
Because even like with Chris, and she said about Chris, like I always get stuck with guys like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We talked about this earlier about putting people on a pedestal.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to live in the reality of the world and also have a pedestal. That doesn't mean that you can't want something, you can't look for something magical, or you shouldn't settle for shit. That's not what I'm saying, but like, what is the reality? The reality is Garrett is not your dad.
And it's never going to live up to that.
Never going to live up to that, ever, in 1,000 years. And you're going to notice
the ways he's not more than the ways he is eventually.
And now Becca seems like an intelligent lady, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. I mean, she does Tai Chi. She's really connected.
Yeah, she's really connected. Yeah.
But anyway, the dad stuff came up, and I do think it's really emotional when, she's saying things like, he's never going to walk me down the aisle, and then I think Garrett really... tapped into the emotion when he walked in that family room. Like, whoa, man. Yeah. Like, the first person he talked to was, like, Chuck.
Yeah.
And suddenly he was, like, crying. And I was like, whoa.
Waterworks.
I wonder what happened. I wonder what's going on in his noodle. If he's exhausted, you know what I mean? Like, what happens? You're on a reality TV show. Because he's a goof, right? We talk about him being, like, a real magoo.
Yeah.
And suddenly you sit down and you're like...
I feel like he won the hearts of everybody this episode.
Yeah. Was he holding on to it? Did he just have a
he was.
day?
And I feel like he's also like, I'm sure he's trying to be like, like fun, like I'm happy, like he's showing the best of him, right? And then I think he's been like really holding back a lot of his feelings, probably because the defenses are up because there's also a producer and there's also a microphone 4 inches from your head.
Yeah.
Which has got to be weird as shit.
Oh,
I think that kind of falling asleep a little bit.
Yeah.
I would constantly also... I don't know if Garrett's like that, but if I was on that show, I would constantly be like, that made the camera laugh.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only, if I ever get to do, if I lucky enough to do local TV, I'm always looking at the crew.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's the same thing of oh, hey, everybody's having a good time in your stand-up show, but one person isn't, so you focus on them. But if I can make the old union guys in the back doing the sound go I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we should not be on these shows.
Yeah. I know. So Russ does the Jam, which is a local show, and he said he was.
He does their Bachelor stuff.
Yeah, he does their Bachelor stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he got that shit. That's just bullshit on us, by the way.
No.
Not to be catty.
Yeah, not to be catty.
I'm kidding.
They're exactly what they want. That.
Yeah. Well, he was on with.
We're too complex.
Yeah, we are. Also, they're like, guys, we cannot pay attention to what you guys are talking about.
No, they're like, if you guys didn't have so much ADHD, maybe you'd be able to do it. We're like, also speak of this movie. Also speak of this. Anyway, go back to
Russ was talking about how he was on with, I'm forgetting his name now. The gentleman who's also the other football player, kind of the higher voice, real soft spoken.
Are you talking about on this show?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I wanted to write that down.
It's someone with a C.
Clay.
Clay. Yeah.
Yes,
Clay.
it's a Clay, and then they were talking about the episode where Clayton, says he's a virgin, and then after the conversation, they show the clip of the conversation he had with Chris, and then it cut back to them, and Russell started laughing uncontrollably.
Oh man.
About the situation. I guess Clay got real upset with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like, he was like, basically all the contestants just don't like me because I just say that what you do means nothing in like a funny way, you know?
Yeah. I think that's why Diggy won. He's a good guy.
He's good shit.
That's why I do think it's something like Diggy. I feel like, listen, we have our opinions about the show, but we're also trying to be respectful as you as human beings.
Right.
Having said that, we did also make a segment called Nick's Fetish. So maybe we're just...
Well, that's just a fact-finding expedition that we did.
Because that's what this show does, you guys. Like, I know we're at the finale, and I know we're getting off the rails, but, like, it makes you play the game.
But everybody does that. Okay, this is the thing, too. You notice that the second Becca had a very serious conversation with her family, right? And then she goes, oh, Garrett's here, I gotta get him. And then she walks out, and their family starts talking real shit. Like,
real shit?
They started discussing everything she said and kind of, like, weren't being respectful anymore. They weren't being assholes about it, but they were definitely, like... being a little catty, that's what we all do. We all see a situation, then we want to talk to somebody else about it and break it down.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a
Which
difference.
made me think, like, what do you think your family says about you when you walk away?
Oh, God, I don't want to know.
Really?
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
No.
I'm going to drop my... I want to hit record on my phone and put it down on the ground.
Yeah, just so
I'm going to go poop for 15 minutes.
Some Richard Nixon
Feel
shit.
free to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think that we shouldn't know. That's the other thing. There's some things that shouldn't be filmed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean... Listen, it might not mean what we think it means,
right?
Like, we think that they're judging us, and maybe they are, but maybe it's like you said, a fact-finding mission.
Yeah.
Like, it is weird that a family gets to be shipped to the Maldives to meet two strangers that for a couple weeks that your sister might marry. That's fucked up.
Right.
So if they leave, you might be like...
She already got screwed over a year before, so you already went through this process.
Yeah, so if you're like... This is crazy. If, like, she walks out and be like, is she insane?
Yeah.
Why would she do this again?
Right.
I think that's legit. Also, if I'm Becca, I don't want to hear that.
Oh, I would love to hear that.
I don't want to hear that.
I wish they would have just had the cameras on them and kept it on there. And actually
sometimes there needs to be privacy.
No, you gotta know.
Well, sometimes, Jonah, we don't put everything on here. We have a whole conversation.
That's because we would be boycotted.
Like, that's because we're terrible humans.
Yeah.
But, like, there are moments that I think, like, we're losing this beauty of privacy. And I don't want to know some things. Because that doesn't necessarily mean that's how you always think of me.
Right.
In this one moment. Like, for an example, have you ever had have you ever walked in on people talking about you and they instantly feel terrible? They don't want you to hear it.
No.
You've never walked in on anybody? Or you walk in and the room gets real weird. Clearly they were talking about you.
I thought that's just because they're nervous that I'm there.
You're like, I'm so fabulous. When I was in high school, it happened a lot because of my dead dad. So I knew when I was walking in, people were talking about it. Because here's the other thing. It was a small town.
I thought you meant like you were walking in with him.
No, I wasn't like walking with the zombie corpse of my dad. You're like, hey guys, dug him up. Let's hang out. Dad. Have you seen Weekend at Bernie's? It's off the chain.
What if like you were doing a Weekend at Bernie's and then people are like, Kelsie, we've all seen Weekend at Bernie's. We know your dad's not alive. We were at his services. And then it's like, Kelsie, come get food. You're like...
Like, go with it, asshole.
This is my process.
This is my process. This is how I deal. I dig up my dad's dad and we hang out.
Yeah, so stop digging into what I digged up.
Oh, gosh, puns are the worst.
Yeah.
But, it feels uncomfortable. I don't think I that's how they were processing it. My dad, when he died when I was, 15... Most people in my age, they never had anybody die on them before. It was the first thing. So they were grieving in their own way that was separate than mine. It seemed like they were talking about me. Yeah. For me. But I'm sure that they were dealing with shit. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to listen to that because their process doesn't include me. Yeah. Which sucks and it's weird because it is about me. You know what I mean? It's all that kind of fucked up, weird... tribal behavior. They needed it. I don't need to be a part of it. That doesn't mean that they're assholes. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's complicated. It's so complicated. And that's a private moment. Yeah. It shouldn't be filmed. It shouldn't be listened to. It should be just for them. You know what I mean?
They didn't show it, though.
They didn't show it. But that's what I'm saying. When Becca's family is put in that same situation, where they were like, what the fuck can you believe? This is crazy. What is that guy about? You know? That's for them. I know, and I think that's the difference. Jonah, I think we really nailed the difference between you and me in this whole show. You want to watch that.
Well, I also want to know that. For me, I think it's important to truly understand who I am is to listen to how people interpret me as. Did I say that word right?
Well, it was a little flummoxed.
It was a little bit.
So you're saying how...
You can't say something kind of like introspective by saying a word wrong.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Jonah, you're Jonah.
I don't mean to be so introspective about that, but like, I know, I'm very dumb. My brain gets in the way of my mouth.
Sure.
I like to know, because like, you know, I've talked about this before, where like, I've had good friends of mine dates, good friends of girlfriends, and then always after they break up, always like, what do you say about me for real? And they tell me, I go, I could see that. Yeah. Or I'm like, really? Huh. All right, I could see that. And
you don't get like...
defensive?
Yeah, or it doesn't affect you?
No, because I'm very, I think I'm very secure who I am as a person. And I also like to know, like, and then it's also like, okay, I could see why he would think that or she would think that. So, like, how am I coming across? Because sometimes you don't realize how you're coming across.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it. I wonder what our Prickheads think, like, if they would want that kind of feedback or not. I wonder, because I think...
Hey, guys, my message in will tell you exactly how we feel about you.
No, do not tell us how you feel about it. I guess, I understand what you're saying. Like, there can be a moment where, like, you have these conversations and somebody like a family, and Becca is clearly looking for it.
Yeah.
She wants the advice.
She needs it.
She needs it,
guidance.
and they can't give it to her because, listen, at the end of the day, I guess it's just your decision, which is what her sister and her mom and Chuck end up telling her.
Yeah.
Even after Garrett cries, and even after clearly Emily and Garrett had a connection of friendship there, you know, they can't tell her what to do. So I guess the thing is, like, even though it might be enlightening, you know who you are, and you have to make those decisions. So, like, for example... But then, gosh, this is a tricky one. Because my sister once said something to me, and if she knew this devastated me, her feelings would be so hurt. But she was like, at one point in our relationship, and I think she said it like a relationship, or sisterhood, she thinks she said it as a compliment. Okay. But she was like, well, it won't bother you. You're like a robot.
Oh.
You know? And I think she meant it like, you're very strong and like complimentary, like you can handle it. Yeah. You got this. But how I interpreted it was like, you're not human. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not a robot. Of course I have feelings. Yeah. You know, and I never said anything to her. But like, so maybe that's why I don't like when people tell me the truth and I'm like, what? Like, I do take it to heart. It's not, it's like feedback that maybe you need. Yeah. But it's very hurtful. It's painful. Yeah. And I don't like it.
I'm so sorry.
Keep it to your fucking self.
Leave me the fuck alone, okay?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're more secure, you can handle those things, but I feel like it's private, like...
Oh no, that stuff would probably fuck with me, but I would be open to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wonder if Becca is. Like, what happens in this conversation?
But I'm always striving to see, like, who am I? Because I think I know who I am, but that doesn't mean that that's how people take me.
Yeah, you're always looking for feedback.
Always. Yeah. Constantly.
Well, I think
it's sad.
What happens, though, if it's sad?
Guys, why aren't you writing reviews? We have been asking. You guys are doing so good. We know how many people listen to the thing. We don't have... The percentages are way off.
Maybe it was like, Jonah needs this too much. Yeah. We need to let him see.
And also, if you're going to... By the way, thank you for all the ratings. It's very nice of you to do that. But write a review, too. Tell us what's going on.
This one off the rails. What would happen if Emily, who clearly Emily and Becca have a very tight relationship, right? Her sister. Mm-hmm. What if Emily was like, these guys aren't right for you?
I thought that, too.
What
I don't know.
would she actually do?
Break her neck.
Jeez, I went to the extreme. This is a Bachelor season you've never seen before. Yeah. Bones are broken.
God, that'd be great.
But you know what I mean? Like, honestly, if somebody honestly tells you something you're not ready to hear, I think you don't hear it.
Right. Do you think Becca would do that thing like, you don't understand? You don't even know what I'm dealing with.
I think that she's very self-aware, I feel like. At least the way she presents herself on TV. You know, Becca? She's like, let me take a moment, let me ingest it. She'd probably take a moment. She loves to take moments.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
She loves to take a moment.
As awkward and as weird placed as they are.
That she'd be like, okay, I really respect what you have to say, but I have to make this decision on my own.
Becca, you just won the lottery. Give me a moment.
Give me a moment. Just a second. Dang-a-rang. Dang-a-rang. And then, after all that seriousness, Garrett runs into the door. So my closed captions were way behind. I ended up not watching. I was really focusing on the action because I'm like, oh, these words are screwing me up, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off on my phone. I was like an 80-year-old man. Yeah. And I was like, what's with this phone? And then all I see is Gary like, okay, bye. Dude, into the glass door. And he's like, oh, I don't get to see it.
Yeah. I always he's so welcoming. He's so warm and
he's a golden retrievver, man.
Yeah, he really
Hands
is.
Down.
Oh, for sure.
He is Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And he, and you might have, anyway, I was talking about the social media stuff. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but I felt like, because even, I think Becca says this, where he's just so, he's so good at, making you feel like they're old buddies.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's great. Like, the way he talks to people, I love people that are like that. When I meet people like that who are so just, so comfortable with themselves, are very intrigued in what you have to say, aren't asking these stupid, so where'd you go to school? Like that, or just, where you feel like you both just jumped into a conversation you've been having for years.
Yeah. No, I agree. The
ability to do that, well, it's not it's obviously not fake. I think it's just part of his personality type. But I love people like that, and that's why I've been a Garrett fan since number one.
Yeah, me too. And I think the other thing about Garrett is, which you can see, that one of the differences between him and Blake, at least the way they cut it on TV.
Yeah.
He listens.
Yeah, he does.
And he is always listening and focusing on them together, and happiness, and I'm happy, she's happy. If we're not together, that stinks, but I hope she's always happy.
Right.
And Blake is always focused on himself.
Yes. 100%.
Always. This will hurt me. I will be devastated. I'm in my head. Now, I'm not saying he's a total selfish dickhead. We all have those moments. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but there is a difference between them. Right. And I think one of those welcoming things that Garrett has is the ability to listen to someone.
Yeah.
And put himself...
What'd you say?
Shut up. I love how we both now actively are we better be active listeners for the rest of this thing. We're both you guys are watching YouTube, we're both a lot of eye contact.
Yeah.
Busted. But he is good at that. And I think that's what I think you're talking about, at least when I sit down with somebody like that, where I'm like, yeah. They're listening to you. They're engaged in that way.
Yeah, and when he says something to you, I think it's really hard. It's really important for him to know that he means it as well. He's this is sincere. I do that was insane. Where he's just as much as it hurts. Later on their date, where he's just listen, if being with somebody else, what is the thing that's going to make you happy as much as it hurts? That's what I want.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he's just listen, just always know that I'm always going to choose you. I'll choose you every day, which I think is a great line.
I also put Garrett is studying up. His lines are getting better.
They're getting better. They are getting real good. Yeah.
He must have read that book about negging. Just kidding.
Well, it's just it just seems too, he had that really bad part. It seemed like his ex-wife was tearing him away from his family, and then he realized that's not what he wants. Mm-hmm. And I think he just has all this love to give to somebody, and he finally is feeling those feelings. And it seems he liked her since day one, but I think he was he's one of the guys in the show that was kind of good where he did somewhat for the show purposes or whatever, allowed it to be somewhat of a slower build, which I think Becca liked more too, because it was I liked Blake right away, but it's just kind of was it just a physical thing? I'm actually falling. I think she fell for Garrett, and that's a stronger feeling than just you know what I mean?
Yeah, a build.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Do I even know what I mean?
I think I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's and that's one of the things where Blake later on in his date, has that thing of it happened too fast and it's not working in my favor.
Yeah.
It
man, that dude analyzes everything.
Yeah, and it's what he said, something to the effect of this, it's fresher with Garrett now. Yeah. His is too old, which is so funny because it's been 8 weeks or whatever. Yeah. This is episode 11.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that long.
The thing is, he was right.
Yeah.
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 That dude's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought when he said about this time capsule, did you ever see Dinner for Schmucks?
You know what? I have only seen the actual dancing on the table or something part.
Did you see the part where he makes the little figurines of the dead
No.
mice? That's kind of what Kendall did, didn't she?
She did taxidermy.
Yeah, but she didn't. So,
sorry.
In this movie, Steve Carell plays the schmuck, whatever, and then he likes
Paul Rudd, right? is the straight man.
Yeah, and then so he will make like these scenes like in movies and stuff like that out of like dead mice, but it's like really beautiful stuff. That's what I thought. That's when Blake first brought that thing up. That's what I thought Blake did.
Oh no!
And it seemed kind of similar to that when he's like, "I made this.
I made this for you. Did you
this
make
time
the box?
capsule."
No.
Then I'm like, did he draw those pictures? Are those pictures like that? I couldn't see.
He stamped them. He said, "I bought the box and then I stamped these things around it." Yeah.
Holy God!
You thought it was going to turn into a Steve Carell situation,
well,
or Kendall pops up like, "I helped with these mice." We do love a good Kendall cameo.
But it seemed a little creepy.
You know, I did write down, we're kind of flipping around to my notes, like, it never seems to work out when people present a scrapbook.
Uh-huh. That's
except
true.
for maybe Jason, when he left.
Yeah.
He was, "I want you to have this."
Right.
Has anyone ever given you a scrapbook or a thing and you were like, cool? Maybe I'm being judgmental now.
I don't know. I think there's a stigma against it. I think I was kind of like, okay.
It seems a little, stalkery or something. I held on to all these memories.
Yeah.
And I put all these memories in this book, so we'll forever keep our memories trapped in this book. Look at this cutout I made. Why am I sleeping? I'm like, what? I know that's not how it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be. Also, my mom was crazy over the top with photo albums.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody.
Baby teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby teeth, hair, like a crazy, which I know a lot of people do. I think we're on the minority in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who, maybe I'm just not that nostalgic. Like, I don't
I'm not either. I'm more, I'm not either.
Yeah.
Do you ever, have you held on anything from
Well, I have
Jason?
some pictures.
That's
And I
different.
have letters.
Pictures are different.
I do have letters.
I think letters are good.
Yeah, I have like a little folder, but I'm also very organized about it. I just like, here's a folder of letters that I'll put in this file cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm not maybe I'm just not romantic. Like, I think I'm thoughtful, and I think I'm like affectionate, but I don't know if I'm that romantic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting...
I think I kind of fell out of that myself.
Hot air balloon rides and shit. Maybe because we're older. We're getting older.
It's cynical.
We're not in our 20s
and loving life.
We're the worst. Man, we just went down a dark road.
Yeah.
We started out here, and then we went, oh, we're the worst. Yeah. So Blake does get in his head before the box is revealed, before the date.
So, do you want to talk about Blake with Becca's family?
Yeah, I thought it was very interviewy.
It was.
He's very, listen, and then when he walked in, though, Emily said a great line. This is, I think, the biggest takeaway I had, where Emily was like, he looks like a movie star. I don't smell you. Okay. Yeah, I know that you tried to say it. I might. Yeah. Well, I don't care. Sorry, podcast. We're doing smell-o-vision at this moment. Emily was like, he's a movie star. Wow, he looks like a movie star. And I never really thought of him that way because he, like, brought an ox. He brought, like, farm animals and shit. Yeah. But he is very tall and brooding-ish. He kind of looks like, who's that angel guy? The guy who plays Angel in Buffy. He's got a little David Borealis.
Also Bones.
Bones! He looks a little like a bone.
Yeah. And he's in that new Seals show or something.
Okay, sure. I believe you. Yeah. Jonah knows his TV. I do. When it comes to, like, TV, I'll be like, yeah, Jonah knows.
Like commercials.
Anywho. And,
I could see that. He's got a very all-American look to him.
Yeah, broad shoulders, sort of like, hunk, but I'm a bit of a hunk.
Yeah, if he was like I was a jock in high school, I'd be like, yeah, you were.
Yeah, and we know that. And their whole thing is like, you guys complement each other, you guys are very samey together. Everybody kind of had the same tagline over and over. So I didn't really think I got new information from Blake. Yeah. Where Garrett, I was like, whoa, something new is happening
every time, again, the editing, but like, every time, like, it was so crazy listening to be like, why the hell, why did he ask me about, like, if I didn't get chosen? Like, why would he ask me that? I don't see that. Like, why?
Yeah, I wonder, too, if the producers were feeding it, because he does freak out.
He freaks out.
So, and they all kept asking, like, what happens if they pick Garrett? And he's like, I'm so sick of talking about Garrett. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like, he's like, I don't want to talk about Garrett. Yeah. And then he just seemed to be a little, like, the producer, was like,
this guy's great.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, if we're thinking about it as a crew, right? Yeah. If we're thinking about it as, like, it's a game show, it's a crew, right? Separate ourselves a little bit. What makes for good TV? Conflict. Right. What makes for good TV? Confusion, right? Anarchy. Yeah. So you slide in a family member, like, hey, ask him this. Yeah. Hey, ask him this. Keep asking him this.
Well, I think they were asking both of them that. It's just that Garrett's like, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah, he's like, ball.
What did you throw that? Squirrel. I love that when they were like on the boat and he's like about ready to say something like really nice. He's just like, yeah, he's like, dolphins! Dolphins!
I loved it so much.
So good.
But the other thing is,
even
like,
Becca was like, dolphins!
I know, it's he's the perfect guy for that. Yeah. Because you're like, yeah, I'm going to look into your eyes, we're going to have this sun moment. Oh my God!
They're giving away suckers! would be in the middle of making love to somebody and hearing the ice cream truck. Oh!
Wait for it! Who asked quarters? I need some quarters.
He's like running out, putting his shirts on and stuff. Bomb pops? It's 4th of July, man! No bomb pops?
But yeah, I really did love that dolphin moment because he was the perfect guy for that, for real. Yeah. I mean, I think Blake would have been fine, but he would have been like analyzing and talking about it, and like the dolphins is like,
dolphins up there.
Yeah, like, and this is like represents
how
our love.
How fucking boring would that be after a while? You want somebody like Garrett?
Yeah, I think we're also biased
because we're like more like Garrett.
Yeah, we're doofuses. Come on. I think he's like a little bit of a man child, and I think we both, and I know it's man child, but we both have a little like, where's a balloon?
That's so much more fun.
Well, but we're biased.
I don't give a shit. It's more fun. I don't care. Nobody's watching that and being like, ugh, I could never.
I know. And I know everybody's talking about like Kelsie because I know I'm the serious one on this podcast, but in the greater scheme of the world.
You're silly as shit.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think we like Garrett.
Yeah.
Even though he's made mistakes on his Instagram, we still are like, like
redeemed.
No, we're not the best judges of character when it comes to Garrett. Because like, he ran into a window. He's just like me.
What a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Anywho, but yeah, he is fun.
Yeah.
And I love the dolphin bit, and I love they were at the equator. So the date-wise, if we're going comparisons, and let's just stop talking about the live stuff till the end, because there's no need for Chris Harrison to be involved with the live TV business until the end.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to do a transition. Get out of the way, Chris Harrison. I don't like that structure.
When they went to the live thing, and he was like coming up, when they're going to, they're setting up Blake getting broken up with, and he's like coming up. One of the worst things we've ever seen. It's even hard for us to watch. There was a girl in the background being like, "Oh yeah!"
Some of the people in the background, and a couple of times there was a gal who just like
she kept like
smiling.
squeezing her husband or boyfriend's leg, being like, "I can't wait! I can't wait! I can't wait for this to happen." I'm like, "You look terrible right now."
Yeah. Well,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. And then so we saw Blake in the dates. We saw so family.
He feels like something's off.
Yeah. Right. Constantly like, why are they asking that? Why he's looking way too much into things, which is causing a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Nice one, Jonah.
Yes.
You did it. And there's that moment too where he's done with the family. Blake's done with the family. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, done with the family where he's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?"
Yeah.
And to his credit, if this is the way it goes, I mean, she could have just been like, "There's a fly in my eye." Yeah. But the way they edit it is like he could feel it coming.
For sure.
And then the next day he's like, "It's gonna be okay."
Yeah.
Because of course you're going to say that. Yeah. Like, we all have gut intuition.
It's going to work out, yeah.
And you still are like, well, I still have to be on this fucking show and I'm going to believe the best.
Yeah.
And you put it out of your mind.
Yeah.
Because at the end, this is what I feel bad about. It's like, nobody wants to feel like a fool. Everybody's like, I should have seen it coming. Reality TV or real life, you never see it coming.
Right.
And that is not your fault. That's the other thing that I think I would get it being Becca and feeling like a monster. I would get it. I would understand it. I feel like shit.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so hard. And it seems like she I bet you this really helped heal her wounds from Ari.
Yeah,
because
it's a role reversal.
Yeah,
you're really putting yourself in someone's shoes, like
so she's like
literally.
Literally.
Not literally though.
Yeah, literally. It truly is true.
It's literally true. Yeah. True. It's saying truly, literally.
By the way, we talked this off camera, but since we had this whole conversation about the drinking game, truly, how often do you hear that word now?
So much.
Isn't it crazy?
It came in like the first 30 seconds.
No, it's so much. But it's like how people say truly just in real life all the time, because every time they do it, I go, I could do one right now.
Jonah's always thinking about his brand.
Yeah. Truly.
So I think Blake was in his head, but he doesn't get in his head on his actual date, which is definitely not as fun as Dolphin Equator date.
Right.
They ride a bike, and then they go do the stand-up paddle boat. Yeah, stand-up paddle boat. Yeah. And have some smooches in the water.
What if an alligator attacked them?
Don't even joke about that. I was just in New Orleans, and New Orleans. I can't say it right.
Yeah, don't say it.
I know. I feel like an
You're
idiot.
Not from there.
I know. You can't say it right. Yeah. New Orleans.
Yeah.
I was just coming back from New Orleans, and I was so afraid of gators.
Yeah.
I am afraid
Come out of nowhere.
of violent animals in the water. Like I'm afraid of sharks, and I'm afraid of gators.
Yeah,
Piranhas. I don't.
I'm afraid of muskie.
You're like, I'm from Okamakanawa. Where are you from again?
Okinawa?
I always say it wrong.
There's a lot of muskie up there in Okachi land.
I'm afraid of muskie. They're big. What about those
They're
walleye?
big. They're huge. They're like 4 feet and they have like really sharp teeth and they're very scary to see.
Yeah, I bet.
Nibble it.
Now I'm not going to
take a toe off.
Yikes, I don't like that. Snapping turtles too. Anywhozo.
Snapping turtle. I had a snapping turtle named Chester.
You did? Was it really your pet or
I was a snapping turtle, but I had a turtle named Chester once.
Oh, that's a good name.
Little boy.
Chester.
Chester.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good name for a turtle. Did you put him in a bow tie?
Oh, god damn it. No, I didn't.
You missed a real great opportunity.
Little
monocle?
Yeah. When they create time travel in a year, I will go back.
Oh, 1 year.
Oh, wait. I now have that memory.
Elon Musk saved the day again.
Yeah.
That psycho. Okay.
Oh, by the way, and also Blake, man, that dude rambles.
Yeah, I guess we
There's a lot of run-on
can be
sentences.
real judgy about that here on
No, but at least we don't. At least we don't do this. At least, okay, all right. Ask me a question.
Jonah, do you miss your turtle, Chester?
Yeah, I mean, I can miss him. It's good. You know, it's like whatever. I mean, I don't know. I like why you ask that.
So mumbles.
Yeah,
Mumble
and he's really
ramble.
soft-spoken too, and he moves around a lot, and it's very. Oh my god, when he was asking her.
Do you think he's trying to do that like John Cusack? Like I'm like a sensitive guy.
I don't know. I just think he's. I don't know. You know, it's like whatever. There's like a million things in his brain going at once. That's actually a pretty good impression. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I thought it was funny
not
when
as
he was, like,
good as Dean's dad.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good.
I'm not gonna bust that out. Yeah, fucking yeah. So, but like, it was so funny too when he was like, I think he was talking to his mom, and then he was like, hey, so it's how's it? It's all comfortable. And then whenever, like, did you notice that?
No.
When he like jumped in,
spazzy?
like he started moving his hands a lot, and was like, is it and he asked her if it was comfortable. Are you comfortable? It was real
Nervous energy. Yeah.
Man, that guy's got some shit going on. I bet he cuts himself.
Oh gosh. Well, we can't see it though.
No, I can't see it.
Because he's wearing trunks. Maybe the bottom of his feet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
I shouldn't have said that.
You have regrets?
Yeah.
So, okay, speaking of lines, I know that you regret that line, but I have to say a Garrett line that I really liked and wrote down. I don't know if anyone's ever shown Becca her worth.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Garrett.
God damn it.
Throwing down the big truths.
I'm not gonna lie.
The big
I don't
T.
tear up a lot.
Yeah.
But like when he was like so sincere and so like clearly in love with Becca, that doesn't seem manufactured or like tricked, you know? Mm-hmm. And when he started saying that stuff where he just like no matter what he'd put her above him all the time and same thing, I just want her, and then if I'm not the one that can show it to her, I hope somebody else can, like that shit. I was like, God damn, man.
Yeah, I'll be crushed if it isn't me, but I want you to be happy still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even what you just said to it, the worth thing, I was like, well, like, God, who wouldn't choose you?
Yeah, I mean, it seems very authentic.
Yeah, it
right?
does. It does. Yeah.
And I don't...
And he just seems to just love being around her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No, I don't know Garrett personally, but he doesn't seem to be somebody who's like
You don't
great
know
of an
Garrett
actor.
personally?
No, I don't know him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like he's an actor.
No.
He doesn't seem like he's like has this like layers of suave and sophistication.
Yeah.
To have a poker face even.
And also, he doesn't seem smart enough to be tricked by this process.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I think he seems to be genuine. Maybe he's really good at it and he's fooled us all.
I don't know.
But Blake seems like he knows. I'm not saying he's faking it. Blake has savvy to work a game. Garrett,
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
I agree.
And I think that's why people watch the show.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the deep darkness of that. Because Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I just want to say one last thing.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
We're all trying to be listening like Garrett.
No. I'm listening.
There's this
Okay,
idea. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
What?
Okay. So this season, right? Okay, stop. This season, like the Nick season was all about sex, right?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, smooch, 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 let's get it in, or whatever, gross.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
And then Becca's season, even at the end of the Ari situation, has all been about emotion, right? Mm-hmm. So they really pushed it through this season. We were talking about this off mic, about this sort of emotionally voyeuristic porn.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like people watching heartbreak, people watching vulnerability in like its rawest form, and how you feel about it. Because it got you, right?
Yeah.
You were crying, and you were like captivated, and you were watching.
I didn't cry, I just was like, oh.
Oh, sorry, you cheered up. You felt something.
I felt it.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
I felt the sincerity of it. Okay, so one thing I want to finish up on Garrett just really quick is the thing I do like about him is, because I know we're going to start talking about Blake, is that the one thing I like about those two together is that they seem like they're just in their own bubble the whole time. Mm-hmm. But like not in a shitty way where you're like, oh, I hate hanging around with those people, but where it's just like, it's like kind of like fun to be around and it makes you happy as well. And they're just kind of silly and dumb with each other and they have their little inside jokes, but it's not so inside that you don't get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like that he's good at like, I'm looking at you, we're in our bubble, everything around here doesn't matter. Dolphins! like, or whatever. That's
so
what I like.
they're engaged with each other and the outside world. I see that.
I like couples like that. And I think my favorite relationships I've ever been to is when we're more like that. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun to be.
A great line that where I think maybe that you're talking about, like they're together but they're goofy in themselves and blah blah blah. When they're watching the dolphins and she's like, it's like a spiral mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah.
He was like, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Or even like when they both went out and they saw like the minivan. They're just like, oh shit, yeah. They're like they're just being so stupid. And like, it feels like, especially because of like, she's dealt with a lot of shit the last however many years. Like, it's just kind of fun to be with someone who's just like, let's just enjoy life. Because it's short.
Yeah. And this idea of like, I want somebody who challenges me. Everybody seems to say that on this show. And I get it.
She kind of got that at the end there, now.
With the tweets. Yeah, with the Instagram.
She's probably like, God damn, really? Yeah. Really, bud?
But I gotta tell you, and maybe because I'm older, we just talked about like we're not romantic anymore, we're older. There's nothing wrong with being easy. Either.
Yeah.
Not like, easy. Write my number on the fucking wall of the bathroom. That's not what I mean, Jonah. Yeah. But I mean, like...
Getting those notches in your belt.
No, like, sometimes love
because you can get the isn't if you work.
Want it. Yeah. Call back. Oh, that was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. It's okay. It's okay for it to be easy. Jason and I have a very comfortable,
you guys are
solid relationship. It's not that hard.
What's that guy packing? Sorry. Oh, no.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. We'll be back on.
Oh, God. Clipped audio. Oh, gosh. Sorry, viewers. Okay. I lost it on YouTube and we karate chopped. It's okay. That's still going on.
Okay.
Let me just double check. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't think there's anything wrong. Like, listen, I don't think you want a yes man or a yes woman to be like, whatever you want, right. whatever you want. Like, that's a Stepford wife and or husband. Nobody wants that. Mm-mm. But nobody also wants, like, why is this so hard all the time?
Right.
Why do we always have to have a thing?
Yeah.
So what do you think they mean by challenge?
Be a discussion?
Yeah, or like, why is I don't think they mean pulling teeth. They want people to like bring out the best in each other, but are you stuck to the chair?
No, it's just okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gave you a broken chair. Okay. Anyway, all I'm saying is, and I know that we're biased about Garrett's goofy personality, but I think it's okay to have an easy relationship.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, because I think he can also be serious when he needs to be.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's all done with. So emotional.
The emotional part, yeah. So Blake's date, we did that a little bit too, right? Emotional porn. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, I obviously was not here for the week, but I did watch something that I thought Jonah watched and talked about.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this, as you guys know, Sorry Nancy, we talk about a lot of other movies and a lot of other things we do this podcast. And Jonah was talking about Ryan Reynolds, who Jonah loves, and so I watched the movie. Meow, meow. I watched the movie Captive.
Mm-hmm. Which is newly on Netflix or
it's
Amazon
newly on
Prime?
Netflix. You can see it on Netflix.
Okay.
And Ryan Reynolds and the actress...
It's an older film.
It's an older film, yeah. I forgot her name, so I apologize, but she's the main police officer in The Killing. Mm-hmm. They're husband and wife, and their daughter gets kidnapped. And as the show progresses, not to like spoiler alert everybody, but basically it's a ring of emotional pornography, basically. They set up this camera and they watch this mother, who is Ryan Reynolds' wife, basically like find clues about her daughter's missing. Oh God, it's so horrible. So they watch this mother like crumble, and that's their whole thing. Is like setting up this sort of weird reality TV chain of events. There's also child pornography, gross. Let's not even talk about it. It's disgusting. But like watching people suffer as entertainment. And I watched it the same time I watched the finale of The Bachelor.
Yeah. Did you call it the finale?
Finale. I don't know why my mouth's not working. And
like
it really,
a fun alley.
Yeah, it's fun alley.
Yeah.
Look at this fun alley, like Diagon Alley.
Well, I liked what you just talked about, and then I watched the finale.
Finale, yeah. And it really struck me as like The Bachelorette as like this sort of emotional reality TV porn where it's not about sex anymore. It's about watching someone's vulnerability and getting heartbroken, and how it really, in comparing it with that movie and really seeing them as parallels, it really skeeved me out.
Yeah.
Like, it really grossed me out to, like, that we're all watching this, like, And the fact that it's not a script, right? The fact that, like, I can watch a scripted, whether it's a romantic comedy or a tragedy, and feel emotions and cry, but I know it's a piece of art that someone crafted to make me feel this way. This idea that this is reality and this is raw and somebody really going through it and, like, look at their real heartbreak. Because, like, when Blake says, I have to handle this alone, that is the moment that got me more than the Garrett, more than anything. Like, I'm going to have to deal with this all by myself. I'm alone. I was like, oh.
No.
It really got to me, and then I'm like, holy shit, I've been sucked into this emotional porn, and I feel gross about it. Like, I felt for this guy, I had empathy, which is fine, and then I felt like I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be watching this.
But have you ever had those feelings of that? Like, the things that he's saying?
Absolutely, but I think this goes in between, like, why you and I are a little bit different when we watch these things. Is like, I feel shameful, not because a man is crying, not because people are showing their emotions, because I should not be a part of this moment.
Right.
There is no reason for me to be watching this man go through this.
Right.
It feels fucking gross.
Yeah.
And I had to, like, step away, because I'm like, I feel like...
Did you, like, kind of shake your hand a little bit?
Yeah, I felt gross. I feel like a peeping Tom in someone's most, like, private moment, and I was like, I don't deserve to be here. Nobody does. This is sickening. I felt strongly about it, Jonah.
That's good.
And I know
you're starting to fall for the show.
John, I knew you were going to be like, how do I get this to be about my idea? But you know what I mean? Does anybody else, Prickheads, do you feel this way? Or are you just, like, bought in? Are you bought in? You're like, this is the deal. They know what they're getting into. I'm going to, just like a roller coaster, I'm going to strap in and, like, enjoy the ride. Yeah. There's something about it that I can't be comfortable watching it. I feel like, literally, like I have to take a shower.
Wow.
And I also don't watch porn, which I know I'm very much in the minority. Like, I've tried it a bunch of times, and I'm like, I can't watch it. I feel bad.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just me. See, you didn't have that feeling. Watch the movie.
Stop saying I watch porn all the time.
I mean, it's on your phone right now, Jonah. I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. It's just my screensaver. It's just a screenshot from it.
Bunch of goofs.
I totally see what you're saying, and I understand it, but I like...
You're a roller coaster guy, right? You just jump in and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I like to jump in it, but also I like to, like, parallel it with things that's happened in my life, and also, like, maybe, like, put, like, I guess, like, I'm just empathetic and you're not.
Well, I think the other thing that, because I'm trying to listen to you, Jonah, when you say this, it's really interesting, because I think, and I don't want to make it biological because I think that's crappy, but I think you're always looking for external forces to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm going in. We talk about, like, privacy. We talk about, like, internalizing. Like, I feel like I learn by introspection. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not watching and learning and, like, getting all this information, because we as humans, I think we're doing this a lot.
Yeah.
But I think you need it more than I do.
I don't think it's like a biological thing. I think it's more like, I'm an Aquarius.
It's more like a star thing.
Yeah, so,
You're like a Gemini, 2 sides. Oh, you're a monster.
Are you a Gemini?
Yeah, I say that and everybody's like, yikes.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
I know, what does that mean?
It all's coming together.
I don't believe your star magic. Real shocker, I'm cynical about that too.
Oh, yeah, because you're a Gemini and that's what you are. No,
people are like, don't trust her. She's got 2 faces. We all have 2 faces. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, that's what Gemini say.
All right, shut up, Aquarius. Anyway, that's how I had a moment, and I really think I would encourage everybody to watch. That was
a hard moment. I mean, like, Chris wasn't lying too much. That was a really hard moment, and it was like that. See, the line he said right after that is the line that got me, which was,
he's someone else is gonna.
Yeah, she's just gonna be so happy when she sees him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, because it's like, he's not the one that made her that happy. That's gotta fuck with you. Because, like, she's the one that makes you that happy.
Yeah.
And you weren't there.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta say, unrequited love, even though it's such a silly phrase, if you love someone and they don't love you back, it's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know how that feels.
I do. Like...
don't.
My dad didn't love me. I'm not talking about dad stuff.
Yeah, dads don't love their kids.
No, Jonah, as soon as you said that, I was like, I don't mean to make it weird, but
my dad loved me. He just wasn't a good father.
Yeah, but you know what?
Your dad loved you. You don't think so?
No.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I can't put that on you. I can't be like, you're wrong.
I know. Oh my God, the first time Jonah's like, I'm not going to debate that.
Yeah.
You got some shit.
Yeah.
My mom would disagree, but I mean, in relationships...
He's probably hated himself so much.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely reasons where you can't love another person because of other stuff.
Yeah.
But in relationship-wise, I've said I love you to one other person besides Jason, and it was not reciprocated, but it wasn't... I think I just wanted to say it. In retrospect, it was... I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, I kind of want to see what it feels like to be in love.
Okay.
But I kind of knew it wasn't. But I'm like, let's try it. I was really young. You know, you're just trying to stuff. You're like trying on hats. Yeah. And my one hat was like, I think I'll be in love. And then I was like, I'll say it. And they didn't say it back. And I was like, cool. You right.
Yeah. You right.
You're right. You're right. You're right on this. You're right. I mean, I wasn't going to admit it at the time.
Yeah.
But,
what did he say back? No.
He was just panicked.
Oh, really?
Like, panicked. Yeah. Like, ooga. Not ooga. That's not the right noise. But yeah. And... Yeah, it was a panic, and he was like, and then I just immediately took it back. I was,
That power must have been fun. How did you take it back?
I was just like, okay, yeah, I don't even know. It was like one of those blackout rambles. Making joke.
Were you very drunk at the time?
Probably. But, no, I don't think I was, actually, which was why I was really proud of myself, because I wasn't drunk. I was not drunk. We were in a car, and he was, like, dropping me off in one of the many apartments.
We're in a car, I was drunk.
Yeah, no, I was driving. It was terrible. No. And he was dropping me off, and like we were not really, like we broke up, and it was one of those collegey things where you're like, we're not even really a thing. We're kind of breaking up and off, and I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah. And I just I want to say it, and I was very serious about it. I'm like, I just want to say it because I feel it, and I want to say it, and I need to say it. So I said it. And then he kind of went, and like, well, I said it. I told you I wanted to say it, and that's what I did. I'm spitting. And then I was just spitting. Okay, I'll see you later.
Peace out.
And then I was like, peace out. Yeah. And then I was like, you idiot. It's feeling like a fool. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
But that's the only ever time. Yeah. And it didn't feel as devastating because I don't think I really felt it. Yeah. If you really feel it, and the person that you think you want and you think loves you back doesn't, I can't. That's a devastation that's got to be out of control. Yeah. Have you ever said that? Has it ever happened to you?
No.
It's never happened?
It has not.
Yeah. So you've always had love. It's okay. Love has been reciprocated.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Well, I had a really interesting conversation with a girlfriend once.
Girlfriend?
With a girl. My actual girlfriend. What's that? Oh yeah. Sorry. Where we were newly in love or whatever, and it was a pretty serious relationship. And then she was like, how did she say? Something like, I just want to let you know that I am in love with you. And she was like looking back at things like I've had boyfriends before, I've loved these many people, and I've only been in love with these people, and there's a difference. And then I was like, God, there is a difference. Like, you can love somebody, but being in love is just a much. Looking at Becca, talking to Blake and Garrett, like when Garrett and her had that conversation, and then like all of a sudden they put foreheads together, and they were like, I was like, that's a couple in love. And then when I saw Blake and Becca together, when I saw Garrett and Blake together, I was like, that's true love. Yeah. But then I saw Becca and Blake together. I was just like, oh yeah, she loves him. I mean, obviously there's love there, but she's in love with Garrett, and you can just see it. But I thought that was kind of interesting when she said it to me. I was like, oh. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I've had girlfriends that have said I love you too, and maybe said I'm in love with you, and they said it back to me. And looking back, I think it wasn't. It was just like I loved them. I wasn't in love, but that is a big difference. Yeah. I thought that was a very interesting thing that she said to me, and I take that with me a lot.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, you're a guy who, we talked about this last time. Like, you do love easier than love isn't hard for you.
I'm not scared of love.
Yeah.
Love,
right?
Yeah,
that's fair to say.
Yeah. But I don't fall easily. I don't think. But I definitely am not afraid of it. So I think if I feel it right away, I go for it.
Because there are different layers of love.
Yeah.
In general, like, I think that I think friendship is a love.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's
a love.
I love you too. That's really weird. Okay. Yeah. I don't say it easy, so I'm like, just kidding, bye. Yeah. Walk out.
Yeah. Why don't you leave?
I'm back in the car, like, say jokes. But and then I think that there is like. You're right, like a connect, like a like a.
But when I first started. I think for me personally, it is. That's why I think it's interesting that the last 4 Bachelorettes ended up being engaged to the people with the first connection arose.
Yeah, everybody.
Because I believe in that. I do 100% believe in like how you feel the first time you see them.
Yeah, so there's
something there. So there's something in your body telling you
go,
like your gut or whatever. Like this is it. So like if I don't have that kind of like excitement, like that this could turn into love, like right away, I always peter out.
Gotcha.
Every time.
You know what's interesting? I watched this YouTube video of that the gut and the brain. Everybody's like, follow your gut.
Yeah.
They are connected.
Yeah.
It's amazing. This video I'll find on YouTube.
There's one on Amazon Prime called Your Other Brain.
Really? Which is really cool. How your stomach is like, like how it is firing things to your noodle. It's nuts. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. A lot of first impression roses make it to are the people.
Yeah, and it's not because it's not. I think it's not just about like I think this guy's fucking hot. I think it's just like there's something.
Well, there's also like sometimes language. Even though I'm such a fan of language, I mean we both are. Even though you say haha I'm dumb, you're using it as your profession.
Yeah.
Stand up is a language. There are some things that our language is limited.
Yeah.
We can't communicate sometimes.
Right.
It is feel. It is intuition or whatever. It is an unknown body whatever thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes when like after relationships or whatever and you're like just texting, it's just like let's just meet because I don't want to read you wrong. I know you're probably reading me wrong. It's also like I want to feel your feelings.
Yeah. Well, because we are like you're so right. Like that's why I think technology too it can be misread so often. We are constantly reevaluating when we're meeting face to face. Because
we didn't exist on language alone for our whole lives. We didn't have language.
We still don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it was like, all facial expressions and body
language.
And,
I mean, constantly. That's why too, like when I like teach some stand-up stuff, it's like the second you walk out, your audience is reading things. Yeah. Before you even touch the mic, before you even open up your mouth. So depending on how you want that situation, whether you want to push on type or against it or whatever, they already have a thing. Right. They already have, because that's how we learn. Yeah. We're constantly, which is
I teach my kids too. I'm like, you're saying this, but you're not reading that. Like I as me watching you, you're not reading confidence. Like you're saying something, but you're very unconfident about it. And I don't believe what you're saying.
And I think
so you got to learn how to like.
We can sniff that out.
Yeah,
as a human and as a crowd, you sniff something out like that
instantly.
And if you're a writer and you're using language, you need to know like. You need to be so self-aware that I know what I'm presenting and how I can use that for a joke or a story or whatever, or use it to build tension or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like Becca doesn't have good poker body language.
Man, well, you know what? You're so right. When Blake came out, you know what she couldn't do? Look him in the face. Yeah. She was constantly like this. You could see her tightness in her cheeks and her eyes. I was writing that right away because I'm like, I don't really know how this is going to go. Yeah. Like, I thought Garrett, but I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know how to guess this well. Yeah. And then the second he started doing her vows and her big fake eyelashes went down, I was like, not Blake.
Well, yeah. Well, they always show the first person's always the person that doesn't get it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You haven't caught that on yet?
No!
Yeah, it was, and on a good note.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm such
an idiot.
I was at a watch party at a bar for that on Monday, and that's why they do the foot, and that's why they go up.
Oh, I'm such a doofus.
Yeah, and they go up, and it was Blake. Everyone was like, yeah, like because everybody didn't want Blake to win, I guess.
Oh my god! And I didn't even notice the alias shot where you start at the foot, and you go up to the wig. Yeah. Oh, I'm a doofus.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I got this by her eyes. Yeah. Like, no, idiot. Yeah, it's the order of the show.
But it's fun, that, like, knowing that what's going to happen and watching her body language. You're like, holy shit.
Yikes.
I thought it was funny when they're picking up the rings, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because, god damn it, Garrett, he's just like, yeah, I've been married before. And so you can tell Neil was just like, I just met you.
He's like, listen, this is a business interaction. Yeah. I don't need your story.
I've seen you 30 other times. I don't care. I just want money.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well.
You know what? His enthusiasm, though. Yeah. God, I'm a sucker for it. He's like, wow. Yeah. Like, he sees a big ring. He's like, jeez.
Yeah. When Becca says, I love you. Neil?
He does not keep it cool. No.
Oh, Garrett. No. He's just like a little rambunctious little.
Yeah.
Like,
anyway, you were saying Becca. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
These are shiny.
What was that Kristen Wiig character? She's like, oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're right. I don't remember. Yeah. But anyway, that's that.
Yeah. Sure. And then, like, when Garrett... first off, god damn it, Blake was sweating bullets. That is not good for him.
Becca too. Like at the end when they're walking away, I was like, "Oh, the Maldives is great, but that sweat is real."
Oh my god, he was crying into that towel. I was like,
"Oh, that washcloth." Yeah.
Also, I was like, "Where'd you get that? Did you bring that from your hotel?"
I'm sure the producers
like a hotel.
are like,
"Get him something. Get him something."
We gotta wipe this sweat off, buddy. He was even using like I do when I like sweat when I'm playing sports and stuff. I was like, "Just use the inside of your shirt."
It was crazy when
using his Armani suit to wipe his sweat off.
Man, when he saw that switch in Becca, holy jeez, I felt bad for him because you tell he started like kind of shaking a little bit.
His head. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Neil Lane ring. So this is the tradition that happens, right? How come has a bachelorette ever proposed? Huh? I don't ever understand why she's like. I mean, I guess it messes with the format.
Yeah.
The woman never proposes on this show, huh? That's never happened?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like it might have happened on The Bachelor.
Where a woman was like, hey.
I don't know. Good question.
I assume, because it is a pretty traditional show.
It's very traditional.
That the man is always the one to get on the...
Because you're one that breaks traditions.
You know, I was somebody who didn't want to get married, so I was never going to propose.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's fine. I mean, I feel like whatever works for everybody's partnership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're with a partner and the guy's like, I would feel devastated if I didn't do it, it's really important to me.
Yeah.
Then you got to talk that out.
I feel like the engagement is kind of what the guy gets and the wedding is what the girl gets.
Yeah, but you're opposite. Like, you're always the one, like Kelsie Jurkens' tradition. You're the one that wants a party. You want a wedding.
Hell yeah.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like...
But you know what I mean? Like...
Well, like, I think, like, the like, this is the male's chance to, like... This is important to me. Like, I'm the one who's, like... I want to, you know, like that. And then girls grow up wanting a wedding, you know. Guys grow up wanting engagement.
It's so strange, though. That's pretty new.
I used to with my G.I. Joes.
Yeah, right. But that's
with
new.
Scarlett. What?
The engagement, like, presenting a ring. Like, okay, I don't want to make it depressing, but...
Oh, because, I know.
Usually, you know, it's a barter trade with a woman. Traditionally, history's the worst. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
Weddings are... gross.
Right.
Like, it's really a trade. A woman has been treated like stock, and we're going to trade this woman for land, and you get this and I get this. It's usually about dads.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's very new in the history of this kind of thing to be like, I'm going to present you with a large chunk of material to show you.
Well, the diamond company started that thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. It's cool.
All right, good.
I don't give a shit.
No, I'm cool with it. But, you know, like, hey, you can hawk this later if you need money. You know what I mean? I can protect you and provide for you. I think that's what it's traditionally now supposed to be, as opposed to, like, let's make a trade for some sheep.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, having said all that...
some trade for some strange.
Gross. That always reminds me of Pat McGann. Familiar. What about my familiar? Yeah. Anyway, so I guess what I feel about it, I feel cool. Like if a lady wants to propose and it works out in a straight relationship, obviously if it's a homosexual relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do whatever the heck.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to. Who wants to play that role? I guess is what we're doing.
Punch each other in the tit if you want.
Oh God, Russ.
Sorry. Oh, that is not what Russ would say.
I know.
Don't even bother with that one.
But I don't think that we've seen that. You watch more reality TV than I do. Maybe on different shows. They kind of swap gender roles in that way. No, okay.
But I'm sure there's instances on the show that I'm sure there has to be.
Prickheads will know. They'll know. They know everything.
Come on, sleuths.
Come on, sleuth it up. So let's get to the live stuff really quickly. Like always in the live stuff, it's not the most interesting to me.
I would say, but the one thing I do want to say is that when Becca said, "Finally got a chance to say I love you," and I think that was a very conscious, smart choice on her end. Was
to not say I love you to a bunch of people,
right? Because she didn't want to do what Ari did. Because Ari said it to both.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought that was very noble.
Yeah.
But when she did finally say it to Garrett, it felt real.
Yeah.
You know
he was like, woohoo!
Yeah.
He was real excited.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It was very cute.
I thought it was cute. I like them as a couple.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
So the live stuff. So Blake comes out, and they have a very somber, like, definitely, like how we always joke around about Chris wanting an Emmy.
Yeah.
He's, like, asking serious questions.
Yeah.
I think Blake handled himself very well.
When they...
Uh-oh, what?
When she said no to Blake, and then he cried, and then it cut to Blake on the couch, I was like, holy... I was at this watch party, I laughed so hard.
We laughed.
And people looked at me.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, what? Because it was like just the audacity to do that to him.
I
thought they're gonna make him watch. I thought they're gonna make him watch Garrett propose and have a little screen on the bottom with his face. I was like, oh, it's getting real.
Yeah, that's some Hunger Games shit. And that's what I feel like a little bit of like, hey.
That's when I was like, that's a little much. But they didn't do it to him though.
Yeah. A little much though, even like, so.
Yeah.
You just watched yourself have the hardest time that you've had in your life.
Yeah.
Now tell us about it.
Yeah. Hey, excited for Bachelor in Paradise?
Yeah. I mean, it's just fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It's that emotion porn.
But it's funny.
I love it. You're just like, what? Well, that's tense, right? Like, you're like, oh, weird. Like, yeah, it's weird. And he handled it well. Like, listen, he didn't have to come on the show. That's the other thing. Everybody can be like, go fuck yourself, I'm out. Nobody does. I'm sure they get a little check.
How'd you feel about when Chris asked him, was it hard rewatch in this season? And his answer was like, I didn't have a problem watching her with other guys. It was the time with me, which was the hardest. I agree with that. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that either, yeah.
That's got to be hard.
And you know, when we had Diggy on the show, and I know I talk about Diggy, he's our only other guest, he did mention, like, the only other people who know this experience is other people on the show.
Right.
And we don't know how that feels. Yep. Like, it's got to be just crazy surreal to have that moment of, like, you watching yourself alone, watching, you know what's going to happen. Like,
and then crazy. Also seeing, like, them do the talking heads where they're like, yeah, I mean, I bet you it was really hard for him to watch.
Becca said she loved him on the talking head.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he mentioned that.
Yeah.
And he's like, she loved me. I'm the talking head. But, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be surreal. It's weird.
Oh, damn.
Because it's very Black Mirror. Do you remember that you watched Black Mirror? It's a sci-fi show.
I have seen it.
Yeah, there's that one where the guy, you can read... You're basically filming something in your brain. There's like a mechanical thing. And he thinks his wife is cheating on him. So he's constantly going like re-watching the recorded stuff. So anything you see is always recorded and you always have access to it. And it drives him mad. Yeah. Like it drives him mental. And he just wants to know. And he finally finds the truth. But that ability to always replay stuff in what happened in your life... Mm-hmm. It's not good. No, I don't think it's a good skill or thing to have. This game show is so weird.
This is what I'd be like if I watched it. I'm like, I look like that when I said that?
You'd just be like, oh, my hair, my butt. Like, you'd be just like...
Gross. You said that? I don't remember saying that. Did I say that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, our brains aren't meant to live in the past. Our brains are meant to live now.
Yeah.
Like, we don't survive... If that was something that our brains should have been doing through evolution, we've already been able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how our brains are supposed to work.
Right.
Oh, God. This is some sci-fi shit we're getting into. It's nervous. So what else do you think about the live stuff? We talked about the minivan.
What if we hit end on there, and then all of a sudden, it was just you and I in a crazy person hospital? And we didn't know this has been fake the whole time.
We're like Hurley and Lost this whole time.
Yeah,
oh,
no! Or Shutter Island.
You know, that is a theory that people have, that we are all living in a simulation and none of this is real. That is an actual...
It's called the movie The Matrix.
Well, but it's also a philosophical idea.
Yeah. Or this is our afterlife.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
The only way to know is to die.
What if we killed each other?
No, we haven't done a good shotgun sound in this podcast.
That would be funny if, like, the last thing on this podcast was, like, a shotgun sound and then just two mics hitting the ground.
Oh, man.
But you know what
that meant? Is that funny, Jonah?
Well, no.
You know what would be hilarious?
Well, you know why? Because that means somebody was like, oh, my God. And they saw us and like, oh, this thing's still recording. And then they hit that and they're like, well, we got to release it.
Do they edit it? Nah. Oh, golly jeepers. Well, Jonah, we're at the tail end of this. What do you else want to talk about with the live situation?
I got nothing else. You got anything?
No, I did. As you can see in my notes, I keep going, come on! There's more time to go.
Oh, I know.
41:40. Well, I watched it on Hulu with no commercials. You sat through 3 hours. I had 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Because I watched it at the live party.
Jonah!
At Brick House in...
That's 6 hours of your life.
Yeah, I know.
Jonah, that's too much.
I know. Which is why we didn't watch Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, yeah,
which
so that's
we will go over next week.
Yeah. Jonah, that's too much. I feel like our time shouldn't be that wasted.
It's not wasted, because you know why? Because I care about our Prickheads. But they don't care about us enough, because they don't review us,
you guys,
rate us.
What did we learn about? We learned that Jonah needs external information.
What I need to know is that we are busting our balls for you guys.
Well, maybe.
Not really. Let's be honest here.
You're like, let's get Costco membership, I want to talk about that really quick. I think it's cute. I also think very clever ad placement if Costco is your brand.
I think that
Nice
wasn't a Costco. They didn't cheat to the camera.
I'm saying...
It was a good thing where we just want to be normal.
We want to be normal. But she said Costco twice.
Yeah.
And I was just like...
Oh, God, you're always looking for an angle.
No, listen, we live in the world of Instagram sponsorship.
What? If I end up going the grifter route, you'd be a hard con.
Yeah, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person to join your cult or your con.
No, you'd be a hard con because you'd be like, what is this really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, too. Even when I was a kid, my mom would try to give me medicine. I'm like, what is this?
Really?
What is this?
What
is this?
When I was a kid, I would watch those movie of the weeks. And there was this one where a dad picked up his kid and said he was going to take it to Disneyland, and then gave him a bunch of sleeping pills, and then set the motel room on fire. And the kid lived through it, and then he had his problems with it. I was convinced my mom was going to do that to me.
Oh man!
Or one time, my mom won't remember this because this is why she said I watched it and I was like so in my head about it, and then she said, "Okay, good night," and then I go, "Mom, are you going to burn me down?" And then she goes, she goes, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" I go, nothing, whatever. And then I just fell back asleep.
Oh my God. That's why kids' TV should be monitored.
Yeah.
I've learned that as well. I watch things that I should not have watched as a kid.
You know, it was one of my favorite movies as a kid, which to this day my mom is like, why? It was Awakenings.
What?
With Robin
I love
Williams.
that movie.
It's such a good movie. But like as a fourth grader, it was like, and I'd be like, you gotta watch this movie to my friends.
You were always pushing movies, Jonah.
Yeah.
Even when you were little.
But like Awakenings for kids?
Yeah. You're not like
this is
Superman.
a great movie. Robin Williams, he's doing the role of a lifetime here.
Illness. I know. Like, let's talk about these older people.
You know, he really broke his nose on that scene.
Jonah, you're such a nerd. Fucking nerd.
I guess Robert De Niro was played it so real that his heart rate below the normal. Isn't that crazy?
That's not crazy, guys.
Yeah.
How do you know all these facts?
Yeah, we'll play Nerf guns later, okay?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about really quickly the Instagram stuff because I know. So we knew about this obviously going forward. They talked about it a little bit about Insta. So the deal is that Garrett was liking some Instagram.
Do we know the Instagram? I researched it for 30 seconds trying to find the things they liked. Did you?
I didn't see exactly what he's like, but it was reported on other things that it was about school shootings. And he was liking some sort of pro-gun jokes. Okay. Yes. Things like that.
He's also from Nevada. They seem very...
And he's hunting, and listen, he seems like he is more of a conservative person. This is what I want to talk about it. I like that they address it. I like that they say... Because here's the thing. In the world of social media, we're all making mistakes. Right? It gets tricky because I think with some stuff, I feel like
Did you feel like it was sincere?
Yes. And I do think you should be able to hey, I made a mistake, and I am now going to grow from it. Mm-hmm. I think the problem comes when people say that and don't mean it and don't give a shit. And they continue to do
sincere
it.
To you.
Yeah, and also, since then, he hasn't made another mistake. Right? Like,
And this is before he was on the show.
We should all be given a chance. And then, for the rest of our lives, and I'm not joking about this, you have to be aware of how you present yourself. You know what I mean? Because somebody for example, Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck, right? He's going to keep posting and keep being a crazy person. The guy's a lunatic, right? And he's posting all these terrible things. And then you have people who are like, hey, what was the example of there's a people in sports, a pitcher back in when he was in his 20s, was being horrifyingly racist.
Okay.
And then didn't change. It's well, then you're an asshole. Yeah. You know what I mean? Also, don't. It bothers me when young
Trevor
people.
Noah stuff when he got Daily Show.
Yeah, when you're like, fuck. But if you acknowledge it and then always take action going forward to not make that same mistake, that doesn't mean we're not going to make other mistakes. We're human beings. But if you consciously choose to change, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Because I want people to be that forgiving to me.
Yes.
That's when I think we need to be okay, I'm going to be a human. I'm going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw the first stone. Yeah. I also sin.
Right.
But I also
acknowledge that you did.
Yeah.
See how it was wrong.
Yeah.
And are working on getting better.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between acceptance and forgiveness, and sometimes I feel like a pushover. You know what I mean? Of no. I need you to know that you have to actively change your behavior, or this isn't cool. Right. You know what I mean?
But you do have the ability to redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think if you keep doing it, you're out.
Right. Yeah, it seemed I don't know, to me it seemed kind of canned, but Obviously, I'm sure they had a publicist.
Oh yeah, they were definitely sticking to the tagline.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it was like, sometimes you can just caught up in different things and just not realize that maybe your way of thinking might be wrong.
Yeah. The other thing I think we need to also remember, and I feel the same way of comedians, like, you also need, this is a regular person. You should hold him to the standard of being a human. He shouldn't be an asshole.
Right.
But, like, comedians, like, why are you holding comedians to a higher standard? Why are you holding, like, everybody's supposed to be a saint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that you're thinking, like, whoa, Kelsie, I'm surprised that you're saying this. Like, I don't think you should be sexist, racist, misogynistic, homophobic. You shouldn't be doing hate crimes, right? But, like, also, this guy is on a reality TV show. You shouldn't hold him at the same standard as, like, your leaders in the world.
Right.
World leaders?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the problem with, I think, like, reality TV and Donald Trump. We're treating everybody, like, the same.
Yeah.
And this guy's a guy who hunts in Nevada. He shouldn't be a prick.
Right.
100%.
Right.
But, like, we don't have great role models, I guess is what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, like...
You can see the error in his ways.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you.
It's tricky, because I also don't want, like, the people who are forgiven the most, I know you're probably going to argue with me on this, is, like, white guys get a pass a lot for fucking up.
Yeah.
And other people are held to a higher standard. Like, you see, like, activists who happen to be, like, women of color, they don't get forgiven. And that's really upsetting sometimes. Like, they're held to a standard, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why isn't this white guy held to the same standard? You know what I mean? There's, like, a lot of, like, forgive him. He goofed up. I agree with that, but also, I just think we should all look at who we're giving passes to.
Right.
It's interesting to see who gets an easy pass and who doesn't. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an interesting question for us all to ponder.
That's how we end.
Yeah, just on a ponder. Yeah, okay, well, this is a very long podcast, and it's the finale. We did have to watch. Well, listen, we got a chunk here, but Jonah, you watch 6 hours of TV. I think a longer podcast, you deserve it.
I watched 7 hours.
Holy shit.
Because I also watched the Men Tell All.
Oh my god, rub it in my face,
3,
why don't
5,
you?
7.
That's insane.
No! I didn't watch, I'm wrong. I watched 8.
Oh my god, Jonah, that's a work day.
Yeah.
You spent a work day watching this bullshit.
I did.
Fucking hell, we need to get a sponsor.
And it took longer because when I have to write a note, I have to pause it. Because I don't want to miss anything.
So basically...
Or if someone sends me a text, I have to pause it. Because I don't want to miss anything.
Well, we're glad that you guys made it. If you made it this far...
My cat needs to be fed.
Pause it. You pause it.
I'm not going to miss it.
Not going to miss it. So Bachelor in Paradise is coming up. Prickheads, we know this.
Yes.
We know that it's going to be on every Monday and Tuesday night. We know that there is one that has already aired.
Right.
We're going to be putting this podcast up.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure out our time frame.
Yes.
So we will definitely let you know. We will be watching it. We will be talking about Bachelor in Paradise.
Hell yeah.
So.
Hell yeah, dog.
Get ready for more of that.
Hell yeah, dog.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, dog.
Oh, now you're pumped.
Bachelor.
Now you're pumped, Jonah.
I do get pumped for Bachelor in Paradise. I do like it the most.
Because it's the silliest.
And it's the silliest, and you just don't think, and people are just real dumb idiots on it.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Okay.
And it's fun because we can. I think we have more of an okay pass to really rip into these people.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. My only Bachelor in Paradise experience was the last one, which was very serious.
Oh yeah,
you know
I like
what
that
I mean?
One too.
You know that. Yikes.
I know you didn't like it. I was so excited. I get excited.
Well, but you know why? I mean, the Corinne.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Like,
yeah, I forgot about that.
So not as silly as previous one.
This one looks pretty silly.
This one looks pretty silly.
What is Jordan wearing? What's that outfit?
What's that? Yeah, Jordan is perfect. Did we call this?
Yeah.
Jordan, Colton. Looks like they're like...
Colton's crying. Man, that dude's emotional.
He's an emotional guy.
Chris, what's the over-under on Chris putting his fist through a wall?
Cocaine Chris?
Yeah.
I think, it would be a tiki hut or some paradise hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Will's back? Not Will's. Wells. Wells is back.
Oh, yeah.
He's
bartending it up. Okay, so who do we got here? We got Leo. I wrote down some people that I saw really fast.
Oh, yeah.
We got Leo, Kenny, yes.
Yeah,
Chicago
King.
Joe.
Kenny King.
Kendall, who we love. David and Jordan are back. Chris, Cocaine Chris, Tia, Colton, and Eric, circled star. I loved Eric. I'm so glad he's back. He looks like he has having an emotional time, though. And I just want him to have fun.
He put some weight on. Looks good.
Does he?
Like muscle.
Really? I didn't notice that part. I just noticed that he was crying. And I was like, oh, no, Eric. Don't be sad.
But we're going to find out the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Soon.
So we will definitely put that podcast up. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're listening to SoundCloud and iTunes or wherever you're listening to this, thank you so much for watching on YouTube. Hey, love your faces. Sorry about knocking you over that one time. Jonah's just staring. I
just don't know if we...
staring.
Yeah.
Should we give him a final bye for Becca's final season? Final goodbye.
Becca, bye.
Oh,
cool. Oh, you still done? Okay.
No, I just kept going.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.